So namaskar all of you. तो ये हमरो important MCQs जोड़ा कलिंग वार ऊपर एटा तार सेकंड पार्ट ऑलरेडी फर्स्ट पार्ट टा मैं डिस्कस कर देचु तो ए पीडीएफ टा हमरो टेलीग्राम चैनल रु भी आपण डाउनलोड कर परिबे सो 20 क्वेश्चंस हमें करथिलु जोड़ा मेनली कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस थिला आज हमें जो क्वेश्चंस रा देखिबा एगुडा मिक्स्ड अछि कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस as well as apanangara factual questions. So let us come to the first question. Consider the following statements about the consequences of Kalinga War. Ashoka's remorse led him to issue Rock Edict 13, where he declared his renunciation of war. The Kalinga War marked the end of Ashoka's territorial expansion and shifted his focus entirely to internal administration. Our third ella, following the war, Kalinga was integrated into the Mauryan Empire as a new province with Toshali as its administrative center. Okay, so first, avitru kota thik achi. The first statement apana dekhantu, Ashoka's remorse led him to issue Rock Edict 13, where he declared his renunciation of war. Okay, so eta thik achi, where he renounced war, okay, and violent methods of acquiring territory. So seta thik achi, one is correct. Second ta dekhantu, Kalinga War marked the end of Ashoka's territorial expansion and shifted his focus entirely to internal administration. Okay, but that is not correct. जोटा last class रे भी हमें discuss करथिलु कि after Kalinga War से बहुत गुडे अलगा territories को okay conquer करिथिले not through war but through diplomacy, okay, through soft power, right? So second ta ताले हमारा ठीक हबनी, okay, it will not be correct. So 2 is wrong. Okay, end of Ashoka's territorial expansion, that is wrong. Kalinga War pore bhi tankara territorial expansion heithila. Following the war, Kalinga was interested in Mauryan Empire as a new province. Was integrated into Mauryan Empire as a new province, that is correct, with Toshali at its administrative center. So that is also correct. Okay, jota tankara historical records re edicts karikare lekha heichi. Okay, so 3 is correct. So avitru dita thik achi. So D will be the correct answer for question number 1. Okay, 1 and 3 are correct. Now come to question 2. Consider the following reasons for Ashoka's remorse after the Kalinga War. First, the realization that the people of Kalinga, including Brahmins and householders, suffered immensely as a result of the war. Okay, so that is correct. Jyotir Rao Joda se Rock Edict 13 re likhichandi. Okay, clearly it has mentioned karchandi ki the common people, including Brahmins and householders, okay, they suffered because of the war. So 1 is correct. The recognition that his father Bindusara had warned him against waging war with Kalinga due to its military strength. Okay, so ଆମେ ଯାହା ପଢିଛୁ various historical records ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କର edicts ଆଉ ଯାହା ବି historical archives ଅଛି ସେଥିରେ ଏମିତି କିଛି direct fact ନଥିଲା. The recognition that his father Bindusara had warned him against waging war with Kalinga due to its military strength. So we don't have any proof of that. So 2 is not correct. Okay, our third ella, Ashoka's deep belief that war could not lead to true victory as indicated by his conversion to Buddhism. Okay, so that is correct. Okay, এটা ঠিক ଅଛି. So he, after the Kalinga war, he believed that war, the futility of war, कि गोटे बड़ युद्ध करी बहुत लोक मारदेले सेमती लाभ किछि हबार नाही. Okay, so and that is why he converted to Buddhism after the war. Okay, but again जेमती कि मु last session रे भी कहितली आ ऊपर भी एबे currently historians माने से माने डिबेट करछथि काहे ना किछि प्रूफ्स मिलुछि न्यूट्रल प्रूफ्स जोड़ा जो थरे की जना पड़छि कि मे बी before the war he already had converted, but from our point of view we should stick to the fact that he converted after the war. Hela, so एथरे भी दीटा आपनकर ठीक रहउछि. Okay, one is correct and three is correct. Okay, two is not correct. So one and three. So B is the answer. Now come to question three. Consider the following statements regarding the political and economic motivations behind the Kalinga War. Kalinga's strategic location along the Bay of Bengal made it a key center for controlling maritime trade routes between India and Southeast Asia. Okay, so that is correct. Okay, so सेटा गोटे reason थिला, गोटे primary reason थिला कि Ashoka, okay, was interested in conquering Kalinga. Kalinga had previously been conquered by Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka sought to reclaim it. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, it was not conquered by Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, how seta Mauryan period before Ashoka, it was independent. Even the Mauryan kings, okay, kichi jana tanga vituru, though they had the, you know, ସେମାନେ ଏଟା ଭାବିଥିଲେ କି କଳିଙ୍ଗକୁ ଆଟାକ୍ କରିବେ, ବଟ୍ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ବଫର ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଭଳିଆ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବା ପାଇଁ, okay, they thought that it would be better. Okay, so Ashoka, he was basically the first Mauryan ruler, okay, to attempt the annexation of Kalinga. So two is wrong. Okay, it was not previously conquered by Chandragupta Maurya. Third, Kalinga's independence was seen as a threat to Magadhan imperialism, which aimed to consolidate the entire eastern coast of India. Not only eastern coast, ସେମାନେ କଳିଙ୍ଗକୁ ଜିତିଲେ southern areas को भी ତାଙ୍କର gateway ଟା ଖୋଲିଥାନ୍ତା. Okay, so that is correct. So one is correct and three is correct, but two is not correct. So theta vitru ठीक ଅଛି. Okay, question 3, 2 are correct. 1 and 3 both are correct. Now come to question 4. Consider the following reforms introduced by Ashoka after Kalinga War. Okay, after the war, post-war reforms कौन से आंथिले? Establishment of post of Dharma Mamatras to promote ethical governance. So that is correct. Okay, so to spread Dhamma and to spread the good conduct. Okay, personal life रे ଆଉ public life रे ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ कौन follow କରିବା କଥା. Okay, so one is correct. Second, creation of new provinces governed by military leaders to ensure stability in newly annexed territories. Okay, so eta ठीक नुह. Although for Kalinga he had a separate governor and some separate special officials. जोटा आमे से जेतेबेले आमे से जो चैप्टर टा पढिबा सेतेबेले टा डिटेल्स आमे देखिबा. Okay, so 2 is wrong. Third, introduction of welfare measures such as hospitals and rest houses for both humans and animals. Okay, so that is also correct. Okay, so A theta ठीक अछि. 2 is not correct. 1 and 3 are correct. Okay, so only 2B will be the answer for question number 4. Now come to question number 5. Consider the following aspects of Ashoka's foreign policy after the Kalinga War. So, Ashoka renounced all forms of military expansion and focused entirely on spreading Buddhism through diplomatic and religious missions. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, renounced all forms of military expansion and focused entirely on spreading Buddhism through diplomatic and religious missions. Okay, तो एटा जो से पॉइंट टा कहला all forms of military expansion. Okay, so this one is incorrect. So military expansion hella, but not through war. ठीक है जी, not through war, through diplomacy, through soft power. ठीक है जी. So Ashoka second, the one is wrong. Okay, Ashoka sent Buddhist emissaries to Southeast Asia, Central Asia, and Mediterranean region to propagate Buddhist teachings. Okay, so that is correct. जोटा कि मैं कही भी सेटा मने रखिबे प्रीलिम्स रो गोटे इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस ओडिशा सिविल सर्विस में कोठी की काहा को पठाइतला. Okay, that also you should keep in mind. Ashoka's policy was aimed at spreading Dhamma both within and outside his empire through peaceful means. Okay, so that is correct. Within his empire, so obviously Dhamma Mamatras mane sabu se appoint kale. Outside his empires by sending these emissaries, okay, and the missionaries to spread Buddhism. So 2 is correct, 3 is correct, but 1 is not correct. ठीक है. So it will be only 2 will be the answer, B will be the answer, and the correct options being 2 and 3 in this case. Okay, so ठीक ଅଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର 3 भी ठीक ଅଛି. Okay, so the answer would be only 2. Now come to question 6. Consider the following consequences of Ashoka's remorse after Kalinga War. Consequences of Ashoka's remorse. ताको जो दुख लगिला ता परे से कले कोन. The war led Ashoka to completely withdraw from all forms of political governance, solely focusing on religious matters. This is wrong. Okay, so nahi political governance ru bahar le, nahi expansion of his territory ru bahar le. So 1 is wrong. Ashoka's administration became centered around welfare activities, including establishment of hospitals and promotion of animal rights. That is correct. The war resulted in Ashoka organizing the Third Buddhist Council to consolidate Buddhist teachings and promote the spread of Buddhism. Okay, so सेमती कहू गले गोटे long term impact. This is also a long term impact. Okay, पाटलिपुत्र जोटा हेतला तो to spread Buddhist doctrine, okay, both within his empire and even outside his empire. तो बाहर लोग भी आस्ते से तरह. Okay, Third Buddhist Council. So 1 is wrong, 2 and 3 are correct. Okay, so B is the answer, only 2. Question number 6. Now come to question number 7. Consider the following statements about Ashoka's administrative policies after the Kalinga War. Ashoka introduced new judicial officers called the Rajukas, who were responsible for enforcing justice based on Dhamma. Okay, so that is correct. Okay, so Rajukas were introduced. और ताको काम थिला कोन to enforce justice and welfare activities. Okay, तापरे Ashoka's policy of Dhamma was primarily targeted at the elite class, particularly Brahmins and merchants. Okay, so that is wrong. It was for everyone. Okay, common लोगों को ପାଇଁ भी. Okay, plus जोटी से elite class and all, everyone were included. तो किसी it was a completely inclusive policy. Okay, so it did not cater to any particular segment. So 2 is wrong. Ashoka appointed officers known as Yuktas to oversee the collection of taxes and ensure fair distribution of resources. Okay, so this is also correct. Yuktas manangara main kama thila to oversee tax collection and ensure proper administration. Okay, so seta Yuktas kara kama thila. Okay, administration of resources guda jemti ki properly distribute hoche. So 1 is correct and 3 is correct, 2 is wrong. Okay, so it will be both are only 2 correct hobo. B will be the answer. Okay, 1 is correct and 3 is correct. 2 is wrong for question number 7. Now come to question 8. Consider the following statements regarding Ashoka's ethical reforms from the Kalinga War. Okay, specifically केवल हमरा ethical reforms विषय से पचाऊँ. Ashoka's policy of Dhamma primarily focused on promotion of non-violence and respect for all forms of life, including animals. Okay, so this is correct. It is ठीक. Second, the introduction of Dhamma led Ashoka to reduce the role of Brahmins in governance and administration. Okay, so आरो किछि हमको direct evidence मिलेनी. Okay, that the role of Brahmins was reduced in governance and administration. So two, we don't know, we don't have any proof of that. So that is why that will be wrong. Okay. So 1 is correct. 2, we don't have any proof of that. Our third, Ashoka issued edicts in multiple regions of his empire, inscribed in both Brahmi and Kharoshti scripts, to promote his message of Dhamma. Eta bhi thik achi. Okay. So iti Central East India, North India re generally Brahmi, और North Western side re generally Kharoshti. Okay, so that is correct. So 1 and 3 are correct. Okay, so B would be the answer for question number 8. Now come to question number 9. Consider the following statements about military strength of Kalinga before the Kalinga War. Okay, so particularly military strength of Kalinga before the Kalinga War ta upare pachauchi. Okay, first statement hela Kalinga was known for its highly skilled infantry and naval power, making it a formidable opponent for Magadha. Okay, so that is jodi ame dekhiba, there was a skilled infantry. Okay, and various independent empires were there or independent rulers were there. So it had a skilled infantry. Okay, and also naval power भी थिला. अवश्य maritime trade बेसी थिला, right? As a fighting navy सेटा इत्ते अधिका न होई पारे. Okay, तो सही हिसाब रे it was more of a kind of merchant navy. Okay, and also navy रो जोटा मैं कहूँ कि तार fighting elements सेटा भी थिला, right? But सेटा केबे भी मगध संगे डायरेक्ट कन्फ्रंटेशन रे आसीबार स्कोप नथिला जेतु मगधर कोस्ट लाइन नथिला. मगधन नेवी वाज मेनली ए रिवराइन नेवी. ओके, तांकर जो नेवी थिला मेनली से माने रिवर्स रु टैक्स कलेक्ट करथिले आ सेगुडा प्रॉपर्ली देखुथिले. ओके, सो 1 is correct. Chandragupta Maurya had previously attempted to conquer Kalinga but failed due to its strong defense. So eta, okay, this is wrong. We don't have any proof of that. Okay, and Ashoka was the first ruler जे कि militarily annex करने पे चेष्टा कले कलिंग. Okay, first Mauryan ruler. The people of Kalinga were known for their fierce independence and had successfully resisted previous Mauryan expansion efforts. Okay, so that is correct. The issue part roila fiercely resisted Mauryan expansion efforts. Okay, so एटा माने अशोक आगुरु none of the Mauryan kings centrally okay wanted to annex it and had a war. तांकर जो vassals माने थिले okay से माने किछि जो माने borders रे थिले से माने किछि सेमति ट्राई करूथिले right. So that is also correct. Okay, so here also only 2 is correct, 1 is correct and 3 is correct, 2 is not correct. Okay, answer rahaiba only 2, 1 and 3. Okay, that is for question number 9. Now come to question number 10. Consider the following statement about Ashoka's policy towards Kalinga after its conquest. Okay, so options. First statement hela Ashoka erected the Kalinga edicts at Toshali and Jogada to emphasize his policy of benevolence towards the people of Kalinga. Okay, so basically after the war he wanted to be a fatherly figure, okay, to take care of the people of Kalinga due to his remorse. So 1 is correct. Second, Ashoka allowed Kalinga a degree of autonomy under local rulers, recognizing its unique identity even after its annexation. Okay, so Eta, we don't have any information. He annexed it and it was a part of his empire, completely under his empire. Tankara empire or Nua province la eta gote. Okay, so seti se autonomy allow kole local rulers who we don't have any proof of that. So 2 we cannot say. Ashoka appointed officials known as the Pradeshikas and Rajukas to oversee administration and welfare of Kalinga, which is correct. Okay, so 1 is correct and 3 is correct. 2 is not correct. We don't know about 2. Okay, obviously that it completely it was annexed to his kingdom. Okay, so it semti kichi scope no thila ki local rulers ku se kichi autonomy deythante. So 1 is correct and 3 is correct. Again, B will be the answer for question number 10. Now come to question 11. Consider the following statements about the reasons behind Ashoka's Kalingan campaign. Okay. So first, Ashoka's control of overseas trade in Bay of Bengal threatened. Kalinga's control of overseas trade in Bay of Bengal threatened Magadha's economic dominance. Okay, so maritime trade ray, obviously Kalinga was dominant. Okay, and Magadha wanted that share because tankar coastline nathila, au tankar navy ta mainly riverine navy thila. Okay, so if not for the strategic and military dominance of Magadha, at least for the economic dominance of Magadha, okay, Ashoka thought that Kalinga ko annex jodi karajibo, taile seita tankara economy ki auri stronger banebo Magadhar. So 1 is correct. Okay, Kalinga was surrounded by Magadha from all sides, making it strategically important to annex. Okay, so Kalinga was surrounded by Magadha from all sides. So Magadhan empire ro jodi ame dekhiba. Okay, so from multiple sides it was surrounded. Okay, तर दीटा जिनस थिला गोटे हला कि जदि से एनेक्स कर दउचंदी ताले ताको साउथ को जिबा पय भी सुविधा हबो. Okay, so this is also correct. अवश्य एटी जो all sides कहिची that may not be correct. Okay, so Kalinga was surrounded from multiple sides, that is fine, but from all sides जदि हमें कहबा तो सेटा all sides would be difficult because southern a part of Kalinga sithre apanଙ୍କର southern kingdom chuda, okay, they were there, and that is why it was a buffer state between the Magadha and the south of India. Okay, so all sides koila seta that makes it okay. এই যে স্টেটমেন্টটা এটা ফলস হবে কাହିଁକି না all sides হবନି okay multiple sides ରୁ Magadha cover କରୁଥିଲା but not all sides okay ତାପରେ Ashoka's father Bindusara had attempted to conquer Kalinga but failed so that is also wrong which we had seen Ashoka was the first okay Mauryan king or emperor to try to annex Kalinga militarily. Okay, so this is also wrong. So only one is correct. 2 and 3 would be wrong. 2 ta etik kotha all sides seta hobo. Multiple sides thik achi but all sides seta hobo. Okay, so only one is correct. A will be the answer. Okay, question 11. Right. Now come to question 13. Question 12, sorry. Consider the following outcomes of the Kalinga War. Ashoka integrated Kalinga into Mauryan Empire, establishing Toshali as the provincial capital. Okay, so that is correct. Actual Jinsudada. Second, the war marked the end of territorial expansion of Mauryan Empire, which is wrong. Much after the Kalinga War, also they were okay acquiring more and more territory, not through direct war, but through other means. Okay, so 2 is wrong. Then Ashoka shifted focus to spread Buddhism within India and beyond. So that is also correct. So 1 is correct, 3 is correct, 2 is okay incorrect. So it will be both of these or 2 of these will be correct. That will be the answer. Now come to question 13. Consider the following statements about the impact of Kalinga War on Ashoka's policy. Okay, impact of war on his policies. Ashoka abolished the military after Kalinga War. So this is wrong. Military kichi abolish natla. He appointed Rajukas and Dharma Mamatras to promote welfare and moral governance. Okay, so this is correct. He introduced policies to protect both human and animals, such as establishment of hospitals. So this is also correct. 2 and 3 are correct. 1 is wrong. Okay, so B it will be answer of okay. 2 of these are correct. Right. That is question number 13. Now come to question number 14. Consider the following reasons for Ashoka's remorse after the Kalinga War. Okay, why he was remorseful, right? The widespread death and destruction during war. So the disruption of Kalinga's lucrative trade networks, which impacted Magadha's economy. So এটা basically ତାଙ୍କର reason ନଥିଲା ଦୁଃଖ କରିବାର. Okay, mainly it was the human suffering, right? And third, the suffering of families who lost their relatives in the war. So 1 and 3 correct. Okay, so again for 14, B will be the answer. Now come to question number 15. Consider the following statements regarding Ashoka's foreign policy after Kalinga War. Okay, related to his foreign policy. Ashoka sent Buddhist emissaries to Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia to spread the message of Dhamma. That is correct. Ashoka formed military alliances with neighboring states to defend his empire from external threats. Okay, so military alliances and all CSETA basically taro favor nathile. Okay, expansion hobo kintu through soft power, through diplomacy, okay, through peace, right? So 2 is okay, not correct. Ashoka's foreign policy focused on peaceful diplomacy and spread of Buddhism rather than territorial conquest. So this is correct. Again, 1 and 3 will be correct for question 15. So B will be the answer. Only 2. Now come to question 16. Consider the following administrative changes introduced by Ashoka after the Kalinga War. Okay, तो आगे हमें देखिलु तंगरा foreign policy changes. एबे देखिबे administrative changes. Ashoka introduced a new tax system to ensure the welfare of conquered regions like Kalinga. Okay, तो न्यू टैक्स सिस्टम से आफ्टर कलिंग वॉर गोटे इंट्रोड्यूस करथिले सेमति किछि हमें वी डोंट गेट बिकॉज से जो सिस्टम टा इंट्रोड्यूस कले कलिंग रे सेटा ऑलरेडी अलगा जगह रे ओके तांकर थिला ठीक अछि सो किछि गोटे न्यू टैक्स सिस्टम से इंट्रोड्यूस कले वी डोंट हैव एनी एविडेंस ऑफ दैट सो वन इज रॉन्ग Ashoka appointed officials such as Rajukas and Pradeshikas to administer justice and collect revenue. Already we have seen that. That is correct. Ashoka's administration focused heavily on ethical treatment of prisoners and prevention of arbitrary punishment. So that is a good type of rule of law type of thila. Arbitrary punishment no. Okay. So especially age insert arbitrary punishment in newly conquered regions, सेटा तांकर main focus थिला कि सेठी okay newly conquered regions रे जेमती ए problem टा रहिबन arbitrary punishment. Okay, so 3 is also correct. So 2 and 3 are correct. So B will be the answer only to question 16 right. Okay. Now come to question 17. Consider the following statements about the cultural impact of Ashoka's rule after Kalinga War. So Ashoka commissioned the construction of stupas and viharas across his empire. Okay, that is first statement. So that is correct. Okay. Tapare second statement. Buddhist teachings were inscribed on rocks and pillars in Brahmi script to propagate Dhamma. Okay. So third है एटा कौन आमे जानचु ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट रे रहउथिला खरोष्टी स्क्रिप्ट रे भी रहउथिला जदि ओनली ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट कहि तांता ताले एटा रॉन्ग हे तांता खाली से ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट होची दैट इज फाइन ओके ठीक अछि से थर्ड है Ashoka supported revival of Vedic rituals to unify the religious practices of his empire. So this is wrong. So Vedic rituals, okay, he was not connected with Vedic rituals. Okay, Buddhist rituals out Buddhism ro spread ta seta se korthile. Okay, so one is correct. Okay, and two is correct. Right? 3 is not correct. 2 रे एतिक मन रखंतु से ओनली जदि लिखतांता ताले हे नथांता किंतु तो खाली लिखि जी ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट रे प्रोपागेट करिया पे यूज करथले ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट व्हिच इज करेक्ट मच ऑफ नॉर्थ एंड ईस्ट ऑफ इंडिया सेम जिंस ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट रे थिला नाउ कम टू क्वेश्चन 18 कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स अबाउट Ashoka's use of inscriptions after the Kalinga War. So Ashoka's edicts were written in various scripts, including Brahmi and Kharoshti, to reach diverse regions of his empire. Okay, so which is correct? जो जगह रे जो स्क्रिप्ट यूज होतिला नॉर्थ वेस्ट रे Kharoshti mainly, और बाकी regions रे Brahmi. Okay, the inscriptions were primarily intended to announce the punitive measures Ashoka would take against those who disobeys Dhamma. That is wrong. Punitive measures माने punishment दिया हो जे धर्म रो code of conduct rules मानी बनी ताकू कौन punishment दिया हो तो that is wrong सेटा से okay inscription से लिखो नोट ले कौन करिवा कथा okay what should be done what is correct से जिनसड़ा से को Ashoka used inscriptions to promote non-violence, ethical governance, and welfare of all living beings. So that is also correct. So 1 is correct, 3 is correct. Okay, 2 is not correct. So question 18, B will be the answer. Okay. Now come to question 19. Consider the following results of the Kalinga War. Kalinga was integrated as the 5th province of Mauryan Empire, okay, which is correct, right? Tapare, Ashoka introduced measures to promote reconciliation and welfare of people of Kalinga. That is also correct. Reconciliation and welfare. तो सेमाने जो रागी की थिले कि इतने लोग को हमारा मरी गले war रे. So they were not very, fond of Ashoka, right? तो सेटा केमती change होगा. So 2 is correct. 1 is correct. 2 is correct. The Kalinga war led to establishment of Mauryan Empire's first maritime fleet. Okay, see, already Mauryan navy thila, but first maritime fleet gote establish he gala, to semti amaro direct evidence kichi nahi. Okay, so 1 is correct and 2 is correct. 3 we don't have sufficient, okay, information on that. तो ताको हमें कोई पे नहीं हाँ निश्चित तो सेटा है इधर. Okay, so only 2 correct. Next, consider the following statements. Last question regarding Ashoka's remorse after the Kalinga war. So it already got a question pori sarchi. Just kari amara options would have changed. Ashoka's remorse led to establishment of the 3rd Buddhist Council. Okay, but it got a long-term impact hame koi pariya, but directly tanko remorse jogu, okay, 3rd Buddhist Council hela, so that is not correct. Okay, so we cannot say that it was a direct effect, okay, of his remorse, okay, after the Kalinga war. So 3rd Buddhist Council ठीक अछि से Buddhist हे गले तो propagation of Buddhism रे सेटा गोटे important milestone हैला, but तांको remorse पई सेटा गोटे consequence नथिला. So 1 is not correct. Okay, then second ta देखंतु Ashoka's policy of non-violence or ahimsa was directly influenced by his interaction with Buddhist monks. So that is correct. काहेकि ना आपण जब देखिबे जितबेले से उज्जैन रे थिले, okay, governor थिले, तो सेतबेले there are many inscriptions in Sanskrit which tell that he started many wars or many important activities by the sacrifice of animals. Animal sacrifice करके से start करते. ठीक है. So B is or 2 is correct. Ashoka's policy of non-violence or ahimsa was directly influenced by his interaction with Buddhist monks. Okay, the Upagupta thile. Okay, and other monks were also there. Ashoka expressed his remorse in form of Rock Edict 13, in which he lamented the suffering caused by war. So this is also correct. But सेटा में तार जेतले theory class करिबा after the prelims mains ପାଇଁ बहुत गुडे historians are of the opinion कि सेठी बहुत कथा उडा अतिरंजित करिकी exaggerate करिकी लेखा हिच. ओके, आउ सेटा से एते दूर रे काहे कि लेखिले जो जगह रे हैला तो तार reasons भी किछि जण दियंती. Okay, in favor and against also. So that part you need to analyze. Okay, बहुत गुडे historians अछंती जे कोंती कि से जेतु बहुत जिनस बढ़ई चढ़ई की लिखिंट तो सेटा से एते दूर लिखिंट कि एठिकार लोक जान परिबे. आउ के जण केते हिस्टोरियंस कहते कि एठी जदि से जिनस लिखि तांते ताले सब बेले वार रो नेगेटिव साइड ता एठिकार लोक माने मने रखतांते. तो से जो अशोक ओके बेनेवोलेंट रूलर ता पर जहा जहा से करथिले कलिंग पई सेटा हो केही भी मने रखनतांते. सो दैट इज ए टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन. ओके, सो एथरे हमरो 1 is not correct, although it is one of the long-term consequences of the Kalinga war that he became a Buddhist and after that he spread Buddhism and the 3rd Buddhist Council Patliputra re tapare. Okay, but not a direct impact, okay, of his state of mind after the Kalinga war. So 1 ta habani, 2 ta habo, 3 ta habo. So 2 of this is correct. Okay, so B is the answer, right? So eta hela apanଙ୍କର these are the 20 questions and कलिंग वार ऊपर तो कलिंग वार ऊपर मेनली सब क्वेश्चंस हमें यार कवर कर सारी नाउ जस्ट टू inform you again regarding your new batches जोटा कि हमरो 2024 OCS 2025 UPSC CSE तापाई रहउची ओके so just tell you the dates और केतोडे कोन सोडा स्टार्ट होची so 19th October Saturday रे इवनिंग बैचेस हमरो कटक सेंटर रे स्टार्ट होची then 21st October खंडगिरी सेंटर रे स्टार्ट होची मॉर्निंग 8 रे आउ अगेन 21st October रे शहीद नगर भुवनेश्वर रे आफ्टरनून 12:30 रे स्टार्ट होची तो एगुडा हला दीज आर बेसिकली न्यू बैचेस फॉर OCS 2024 25 out and beyond and UPSC CSE 2025 26 and beyond okay so जो scroll रे जो नंबर टा अछि you can get more details आरो YouTube videos भी बैचेस आपण पाई जिवे एटा इंटीग्रेटेड बैचेस उडा prelims mains interview इधर आपण जदी ऑलरेडी किछि पढी सरचंती then you can join for 1 year एटा 1 year बैच टा otherwise you can join the till success batch okay तो एथरे prelims main interview including your optional सब गुडा कवर होछ okay so I wish you all the best जो माने प्रिपेयर करचंती सिविल सर्विसेज पई ओके कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी टा जहां भी जो भी सोर्स रु पढंतु टिके सब जिंसर काहे कि एटा हिची केमिति हिची ए व्हाई एंड हाउ ए दिटा जिंस आपण मन रखुचंती कि बुझुचंती एटलीस्ट एनालाइज करचंती ताले एनालिटिकल क्वेश्चंस आपण आराम रे आंसर करि पर ओके सो बेस्ट विशेस नमस्कार।